Yo, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm gonna give you a brief for new beginners. I should have put that in the description. So I'm gonna tell you flat out how to really, for the new beginners who are having a difficult time, I'm gonna tell you how to do or how to get past the Mastery 8 rank test, so you can get your silver disciple. And the best type of warframe to really use for this is actually I'll tell you in a minute who to use. Is actually Titania. As you can tell, I'm gonna be leveling her up to max rank, but Titania is the best warframe to actually use for the Mastery 8 rank tests. And the whole thing is, like, use Titania. Not bad though. I actually, at first I was a little skeptical about Titania. Like, I didn't think I would really use her. But she's really not bad to buy at the to get at the market, or you can farm the blueprints. If you buy her in the market, it's gonna be 275 platinum. Which in truth, it's easier to buy her than it is to farm her. Most people don't really think much about Titania, not really being good. The only thing that with Titania is she's actually squishy. In the past, the Mastery rank 8 test, you use Titania. Most people would tell you use any warframe, but in truth of the matter is, if you use Titania, you can actually get through the Mastery 8 rank test. And by what I mean by that, we're going to do this. We're going to go into my dojo, and I will show you exactly how to do it. Some of you may or may not know. So let me go to communication. Let me go into my clan. And of course you can tell, yes, I'm a founding warlord for Huntress Clan. Been trying to get some really good people to join up as an alliance. However, I am going to show you the proper way, or at least a way to do it. It could be any, you can practice. If your clan has like a practice room, practice it. It took me God knows how many tries. On practice alone, I think it took me well over 6 tries, and then not that one from last night, but from this one passed by myself was probably about 5. So you're looking at a total of 12 tries. It is very difficult, so be patient with it, but what I can show you is the best way to do it for Titania. Now, let's say if you look at the door here, okay, now you look at this part, pretend that this is the, like the platform, if you want to put it that way. Now, what I normally do, sometimes it's best to crouch, but I've realized if you hit the X button, L1 button at the same time, you're able to do this. So if you point the direction slightly upward to that wall, you're able to get onto the wall and then onto the platform that's on top of the wall. When I am running now on my my Titania warframe, and I'll show you exactly what I use to help get through it. So the one thing that did happen is when I completed the test, of course, I already completed it, but the thing is when you do the test, and you complete it with Titania, if for some reason, if you, at the very end, if you miss that platform, if you jump too, it's like what I'm saying is, if you jump too high and then you kind of miss the platform at the very end, after the, when you get to the finish line of the test, you'll be able to complete it. It'll count as you completed it. It's anything prior to that and you fall 3 times, you'll fail the test. So what I will show you briefly, so as you can tell, my Titania is level 6, which fell in love with her, and now we're gonna go back to, actually I'll show you what mods I'm using. I have to get to the proper way. So of course you can tell I'm all big and the Oriental. I do some changes into the some certain areas that didn't really look right. Like this right here is my Serenity room. I pretty much made this when I first got this hallway. And now we go into the winter room, which is actually the cold. So the Serenity meaning, you know, fall, this is winter. Only did 2 out of the 4 seasons. So, and of course here's my little market, or trade market research subpar. And then if you go over here, as you can tell with the statues, I'm sorry I'm moving the camera too fast, but you can tell like I have all the Oriental statues. Of course I'm still trying to figure if this is a if that's Loki or that is Oberon. Am I pronouncing it right? But over here, of course, you know, I did this pretty much all by myself, and my technology lab and stuff like that. But that's not what I want to show you how to do it, and I'll show you the exact proper way to set up this particular Warframe. Still trying to work it up, you know, and you pretty much now, that's elevator. So we go into this room, and I will show you what mods I was using. Try to use anything with the mods in general. Well, actually better off to go to my ship because it won't show you the mods. So we'll exit from here from the dojo really quick, and you have to kind of excuse me a little bit. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing good. So I'm going to show you exactly what mods I use to get by, because you're going to need at least a running start, because if you run like a normal pace for a low Warframe, end result is you're not going to be able to make it to the next platform. And what I want to show you is the mod layout, which now if I go to upgrade, so right now, even though she's level 6, I'm using continuity, physique. Rush is very important. You're going to need a sprint speed to actually run from a distance from the separations of the platform. If you use regular run speed, you're not going to make the jump. You can do it, but you're making it a little harder for yourself, and you would probably fail the test. And keep in mind the mastery rank 8 test is a 3-time thing. You get 3 attempts and then you fail. What I added to Titania here, steel fiber. I actually run this in all my Warframes, my Valkyr, I think my Hara. But pretty much for now, this is what I have set up. You know, if you have Titania, use Rush, and pretty much you want to set this all up to what you want. For that, I'm going to do, because I've been having a set weapon, I've been having my eyes on, which took a long time to farm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Orokin, well, go into the foundry, and I'm going to grab my Orokin, which actually is the Lex Prime. So I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you get to Mastery Rank 8. At first I thought that it was like, to me, I personally thought it was like, oh no, big, you know, it's not a big deal, but the higher the rank, the better the weapons are, and it's really true. Which means now I can proceed with this weapon here, the Cronin Prime, and I actually can start building the Lex Prime, which I've actually had my eye on for quite some time, and that's pretty much it. So I'll just start building it, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Just for I'll just run it, you know, dry run. So right now, I mean, I can rush it, which is like 50 platinum, but I don't feel like I want to rush it because I don't feel like I really need to. And everything else that's been going on. Like you'll have other stuff like Necros and all that fun stuff, but I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you the actual test, which will go to the Earth Strata Relay, which should be kinda, let's see, here we go. Okay, so here's the Earth Strata Relay. So now I'll click on it. Now I usually try to go with either the calm. You can go to the busy one, but if you go to the busy one, chances are you could lag or whatever the case may be. So I try to go with a calm one to make it easier for me to actually do the test. I'll just do a quick run through to show you exactly how I did it, how I passed it. So keep in mind, with everything being said, so it's pretty much is where it's gonna go. They just got, it takes a little longer to do. It takes a lot longer to do, and I'll show you exactly how this happened, how this is turned out to be the sole provider. The only thing I will say, you have to kind of excuse me tonight. I'm not really in one of my best looking moments, so what I'm gonna do is I'll just kind of kindly run past the corridor, you know, past all this stuff while the Lex Prime is actually being developed. I normally don't do this, you know, I don't normally air because I'm like complete total wreck, and I just kind of like was in those modes, and I had actually painted a room that is pretty much going to be rented out to somebody. So right now I'm just kind of like sort of kind of in my work clothes kind of thing. So what I do is I go to the strata, I go up here, I ascend all the way up onto the elevator. I mean, I can actually just fly up if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna like really hold my breath. So what I do is I go here, usually to start off, if some of you who are new, who are having this problem, you go to the test. Oh, that's the 6, 7. So you go here, and I'll show you how it's done, just a rough. And and then when you get to the top, no, I'm going to show you briefly. It's going to be okay.
Now we will test your agility. Shoot the targets to create your path.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm using actual regular pistols. So what I'm going to do is hit the L3 stick. I'm going to run. I'm going to get a good running start. I'm going to go over here. I shoot this orb. Now I want to make sure I have enough distance so I would be able to get onto that platform. Of course, yes, I know. My pointer is kind of pointing downward only because I'm just showing you a rough run through. Now, when you do this, double jump again. Now you hit here. Now, if some people have a hard time with this, you want to have a good running start, but you also want to make sure you kind of get, you have to time it by jumping. Now, for this, I point my cursor, at least I would go probably about right about there. And I just do this, I jump up. And then what I do is I go here. Now, when you start getting to this point, gather your thoughts, you know, collect everything you need. So pretty much now, this is going to be tricky, so don't be discouraged if you can't do it the first time. So you're going to kind of jump down here. Of course, using the wrong pistols for this is not one of the best of things. Now, if you do this, now watch what happens if you use Titania. Now, for some odd reason, if I miss it, I still pass it. It's okay, because if you got to the finish line, you're still able to pass it. So, which is really one of the best things you can actually do. And that's how you pass the test. Most people would say, You know, you can use any Warframe, you can use any weapon you choose to, but you can only equip yourself with a sidearm. But don't be discouraged. Like, if for some odd reason, if you can't get the first time, then you just keep trying, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can also do the cheese way by having a friend of yours help you, which then again, it doesn't, you know, it works either way. Without that being said, I'm just kind of like, you know, that was pretty much self-explanatory. I'm just going to back out from here. And as you can tell, I'm back in the relay. So, pretty much now, I don't normally tell my tricks or secrets, but it's gotten to the point where I can actually do this, where I can actually show you the tricks and the trades and the secrets and all that fun stuff, which really isn't that bad. Most people would tend to differ. What's up, Gamer19? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Jesse. Yes, I decided to go back on it because it's been... I'll be perfectly honest about why I'm back on. Because this thing with the Mastery Rank 8 test really got to me. It was niching at me every night. Because I knew I wanted to push myself, but you know what? I said, screw it, get Titania. And it was just easy as hell to do it. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it. But that's just the way it was. I know I said I quit Warframe. I know I did. I'm guilty about it. But pretty much this is how you pass a Mastery Rank 8 test. And, you know, even if you have to come over here to the strata to practice, even I would do it, like practice the tests, you know, with the strata. Try to keep everything, you know, where you need to have it. That's just the way I try doing it. I mean, I failed numerous times. I used the wrong Warframe. Hell, I was using Valkyr. I was using, I didn't use Korra, but I was using Valkyr. I tried it with Haro. That was a very bad idea. Then I realized somebody had told me about using Titania, which at first, like, I was like, okay, this kind of like weird, Titania being as light and agile, which I never thought, you know, possible. And it's pretty much like self-explanatory. Like I said, you could farm Titania to get the parts and build her up, or you could buy her in the market for about 275 platinum. But if you buy her, you already get like an Orokin reactor, you'll get like extra stuff. So I'll show you exactly what you get as a perk for Titania. Well, unfortunately, I was just gonna, well, tonight I may be running my Titania, or I might be running my Haro, but I think I'm becoming more used to the in-flight, so I mean Titania. Now, as you can tell, yes, I got a little decorative happy with a few crystals here and there, and this is not crystal meth or anything. But anyways, the weapons I will show you that are for Titania are the Dex Pixia, which are actually her weapons, her little sidearms. The Dawada, which is your actually main weapon, your sword. So you pretty much, what's really weird about Titania though is she can hold up to 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like she can hold up to about 5 different weapons. And the reason why I'm using a Grakata now, everybody knows why, and I kind of get yelled at for it, but the Grakata was a weapon I actually started out with, and I have it modded. Yes, I actually, one thing I should have not done, I think it was a waste, was use a Riven mod on, I think it was on the Grakata. But at the same, no, actually it wasn't on the Grakata, it was on my Warframe. But what I used on several key aspects of it for the actual test. And the thing I'm gonna say though about the mastery rank 8 test, I always keep messing it up. The problem is DE doesn't explain it. They don't do a good job at being self-explanatory about what Warframe to use for these tests. So it's pretty much you're going to be learning the hard way. Like I said, use Titania for this quest, or for the test. The tests will only get harder because I guess supposedly you're going to have to use her again more than once. So make sure you hold on to your Warframes, max the shit out of them. You know, same thing goes for the weapons and everything else. That's the only thing I can tell you as far as pretty much it. You know, I'm gonna quote something here from Jesse OJ10, and he's right. And this is no lie, and he has to agree with me on this because even he said it that DE always sucks at explaining mastery quests, and that's true because you know you can use your main Warframe, you know, up to a point. You know, like you can probably use your main Warframe up to master rank 5, but then when you get to 6, 7, 8, that's where you're gonna run into the problems because DE doesn't self-explain how to use a Warframe and where to use the Warframe. For me, and I'll show you different Warframes I have. This is my 9th Warframe. But for an example, when I first started playing Warframe, I was actually using Korra. Okay, no big deal, right? Korra was good, kicked ass for like a certain point. And then, well, this kind of sucked the farming him though, but I probably won't use him. Yeah, and it goes back to what Jesse was also saying. And Jesse, I have to 100% agree with you because the problem with DE is that they don't explain the story at all. It's pretty much what they do is DE says, okay, you have a Warframe, you pick your Warframe in the beginning, but what else did they not tell you in the story? Of course, they're not going to tell you anything because now you have to learn the hard way. Meaning that their DE's communication with the community, they're poor at explaining the story quest and the quest including the frames you've gathered. So pretty much like you're doing this flying blind, and that's one thing every gamer, the majority of the video gamers normally quit because of this. It's not, you know, it's because DE is very poor at explaining Warframes and mods and how to set them up and so on, so on, so on. And of course, you know, having about 9 Warframes. I mean, Ember was good to a point. I maxed her out. She was okay. Not saying I would use her again. Korra was good to a point. Same thing. Maxed her out. What am I going to do now? What I have going on now, let's see. Siren, she was good. I mean, I shouldn't say good. She was freaking badass. And we have my main character, Valkyr, which I'm normally more of a Valkyr user, but Valkyr, like I said, didn't do very well for that test. I could have used her, but there was problems using her because she didn't have the necessary in-flight what you need for the test. So the characters I'm going to be working on for the remainder, with these 9 I have, are going to be my Harrow, finish on my Oberon, my Nyx, my Titania, and if I ever feel lucky enough or ambitious, Limbo. Which would be very rare. I'm going to be using Limbo. I don't really have a particular interest in using Limbo because every time I've heard horror stories that people use Limbo, you're generally not going to be in any other missions because there's some people who use Limbo's ability and it really sucks. Oh yeah, actually, what I was gonna and Jesse, yeah, I'd be cool with that, man. I'd be cool with that. be perfectly honest, I think tonight I was actually gonna level up. Let's see how far I want to get, because the one I want to actually work on is really is gonna actually be Titania. So let me invite you in, and we can start that. Now I'm gonna keep in mind Titania is gonna be very squishy, and you'll see why in a second here. Yeah, just take your time. I'll just invite you. And my hair's kind of long and it's tickling my ears. One thing I hate about wearing headsets when your ears tickle, so give me 1 second. Sucks having long hair and it makes you want to tickle your ears. But I'm happy. I'm actually pleased that I got to this rank now, so I don't have to worry about anything other than not having to have this task linger anymore, and enough was enough. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna invite Jesse. I was hoping to do this more. Let's see what we got here to invite. Okay, so Jesse is at the menu, so I'll invite, and we are good to go. And yes, I know, I'm sorry. I lied about the whole thing about me quitting into the actual Warframe. I did have spite, and well, not spite, but I was so triggered and pissed off. So if you give me a moment, I have to invite Jesse into the party, which this is going to be 1 second. Alright, so let's see. Oh wait, no, I gotta back out. That's a bad idea. So let's see. Invite player. Oh, never mind then. Hey Jesse, what's up?
Yo.
Hey. Yeah, sorry about that. I know I was like saying I wouldn't play Warframe anymore, but I decided to do it. I'm like, oh hell with it.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be cool, man. So ever since I got Titania, it's been like really, it's been heaven. It's been it's fun. You know, she's fun. Now I have my mastery guns being built now, so I can't do anything until after about like 12 hours, which really kind of sucks. I mean, I can rush it, but it wouldn't be any good. So.
Plus, you'd be wasting more platinum anyway.
Pretty much. I was watching a thing on YouTube earlier, and it's always happens to people who are farming, like the prime, stuff, and they auction it, and then people like try to scam them out of freaking platinum. I swear to God, it was on YouTube. I was like watching it earlier, and this dude freaking tried to he was trying to sell a certain prime. It was oh God, who was it? It was I think it was Vauban. And dude was like trying to give the guy like, okay, you know, the guy was asking like 250 platinum for the prime, and the dude was like in the hub, and what happened was the dude was trying to give him a platinum. The guy's like, dude, I'm not blind, you know. He typed it in, you can actually see it, and he was telling the guy, he's like, dude, I'm not blind, because he was trying to fleece him out of a the prime blueprint, the parts and stuff. So it was really interesting to watch that.
If I was selling prime parts, I'd just sell it at the minimum of at least 25 platinum instead of the whole 250.
Yeah, the guy on YouTube was actually selling for like 250, and I'm like, really, dude? I mean, I can sell a majority of my scimitar blueprints and shit to somebody, but would want about maybe, I don't know, maybe 35 platinum at that, if that. But that's, you know.
Luckily, I have some of my Wyvern mods unlocked. I could probably sell those for at least an even 20, hell, 40 even, depending on which is good.
yeah, you know, that's always like the thing. You know, people don't get it. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I'll buy it for like 250, and it's like, yeah. But yeah, it was always a pretty good thing. So, anywho, so let me 1 second, and let me just end the broadcast, and we can start going the leveling up.
Okay.
Yeah, give me 1 second here.